Hello.
Jamie.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you going?
Very good, thank you. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, pretty good, mate. Yeah.
Keeping well?
Oh, yeah, for a bloody cold, windy night in the mountains.
Whereabouts in the mountains are you, roughly?
Little town called Mount George. It's about 45 minutes to the closest town in Wingham,
Okay, yep.
New South Wales, just
Yep.
heading towards Taree area.
Yeah, I know where Taree is. I've been up there. And Wingham.
Yeah.
I used to have a mate with a place at Comboyne years ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Comboyne,
Yep.
up in the hills up there, out the back of Taree.
Yeah, I know the area out there, yeah.
Yeah. So, they're interesting photos that you sent me, Jamie. They're, there's a, I mean, it's typically, in my luck, they're not 100% clear, but you can see pretty roughly what you're talking about with, that last one where it's sort of looking towards the camera.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious that it's looking at the camera. You can see its face sort of thing and the outline of its ears.
Yeah. At the time, I had a bloody cheap Oppo phone, trying to zoom in as best as I could and
Yep.
rush the photos. I was sort of like, shit, I got to get this on bloody camera. And
How long ago was it when you had that sighting?
3 or 4 years ago now.
Okay. Hey, is it okay if I record this? You're all right with me recording this?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
cool,
fine.
because I am. I record all of these conversations. I mean, if it's okay with you, I'll put it on our YouTube for people to have a listen to.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
yeah.
all right? No worries, all right. Well,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off there. Continue, mate. Let me know. Tell me what exactly happened on that day.
Well, I remember it was probably around this time of year.
Yep.
It's just starting to come in the winter, pretty cold. And I remember I got the house we live on. It's sort of on a bit of a hill and looks over the scrub. We're surrounded by bush and national park and that out in the forest.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice, those photos you sent me.
Yeah. So we haven't really got any neighbours or nothing on a dirt road, middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And I remember I was sitting on the veranda and I thought, it's getting a bit cold. I might get the outdoor bloody fire pit going.
Okay.
So I walked to the edge of the property we're on. It's only from the veranda, it's probably about 10 metres or something. And I remember just looking down at the edge of the creek. We've got a bit of where the scrub and that joins under the grassy patch.
Yep.
And I looked down and I remember thinking to myself, usually we get wallabies and kangaroos and that in the afternoon and in the morning down near the bottom. And I was looking down and I thought, well, shit, there's no kangaroos, no wallabies down there this harbour. And I was just looking down at the patch and I seen this thing and I thought, first thing came to my mind, I thought, bloody dingo. So I was thinking, oh shit, Mrs. not home, I'll go get my camera. It was on the table under the veranda.
Yep.
Get some pictures to say, we're getting dingoes coming down. But then I looked at it a bit closer and I thought, shit, that's not a bloody dingo. The first picture I showed you, I got the side-on shot. It was sort of, couldn't see the front of it, I just seen the side and the tail.
Yep.
And I thought, that's got stripes on it. And I was thinking to myself, well, that's no bloody dingo. So I tried to rush the first couple of shots.
Yep.
And I don't know if it smelt me or heard me or something, but it sort of started going off into the grass. But the funny thing, the way it sort of walked into the grass would have been up, probably up to your knee or something.
Yeah.
But the way it put its head down and sort of camouflaged and walked into the grass, and I was sort of sitting there with my phone trying to zoom in, trying to thinking, shit, I've got to get a good picture of this. And so I thought to myself, and that's the sort of, we live on a bit of on a hill. So I thought I'll give it just went a couple of whistles. I thought, shit, try and get his attention. And that's when it started going up the hill. I got the shots where you see it turn around.
Okay, when it looked back at you, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sort of sitting there going, shit, my phone, trying to figure it out. But yeah, it definitely wasn't, I grew up in the Blue Mountains and I've lived in the bush all my life pretty much. And
Yep.
definitely wasn't a fox or a dingo or, nothing like that.
How long did you get to see it? I mean, you were taking photos, not video, is that right?
Yeah, no, just taking photos. It was pretty quick. it must have, when it did see me or heard me or whatever, it didn't run off. It just sort of put its head down and sort of, like, I wouldn't say slowly, but it sort of cruised off. But it was ducking in and out of the grass like it was.
It went straight for the cover, basically, of the grass.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. I'll give it a whistle or something because growing up, younger days did a bit of shooting and that. I thought I'll whistle, try and see if I can get it to.
Yeah, well, foxes will do that, won't they? You whistle a fox and they'll stop and look at you.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Thought I'd give it a whistle, and when I did, it sort of poked its head and turned around, and I was like, shit, I'll get a couple of pictures of that, and just the actual body and the shape and the look of it, it was, definitely, I've never seen nothing like it before, and I thought, So,
what sort of distance were you?
I'd say roughly 50 metres, maybe a little bit more from
where you were standing.
Yeah, I think I over-zoomed my phone on the camera on my phone. It was
giving it everything you had. You knew you were looking at something good. That's awesome, because so many people see it and they don't have their phone ready, or they're driving or whatever. It's really hard, and everyone says, "Oh, it looks like it was taken with a potato or whatever," but it's a fleeting moment, and
just the shock of trying to, like, oh shit, I want to get this on bloody picture. Like, no one's going to believe me if I just say I just seen something.
How many shots did you get all up?
Yeah, so
did you get 3 or 4 shots all up? How many was it? Do you know?
I think I took about. I think I was just clicking away, but I think probably about 4 or 5.
I think you sent me 3 different ones.
Yeah, the actual pictures I sent to you, because I actually lost my phone about, I don't know, maybe a year or two after that. So the pictures, I actually put them onto my Facebook page.
So you've taken them off of Facebook, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
They're actually screenshots of what I actually took. So,
Yep. So they've been shrunk by Facebook already too, sadly. If you still had the phone, they wouldn't be they'd have more megapixels to them, so they'd be better to blow up.
Yeah, the originals would have been a little bit better. But
it's better than nothing, mate.
Well, actually, because I got a couple of friends that actually work. I've got a mate that works at the Blue Mountains National Park, and I've got another mate up here with Indigenous.
And did you have a chat to them about it?
Yeah, well, I put it on my Facebook page. I thought, I'll just put it on my page, see what, people might say I'm an idiot or, might believe me. And my mate that works for the National Parks in the Blue Mountains, he wrote straight back to me and said, mate, you got a bloody good picture there. Like, I can see what it is. And I'm like, shit. And I had over 50 comments from my friends saying, what is it? A couple of people saying, what is it? And people saying, I can see what it is. Yeah, that's good. And mate up here, he's in with the Aboriginals and that up here. He showed to a few of his mates, and they were like, where do you live? And they were really interested in it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, right. So, how long you been on the property?
Probably about 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
Here, yeah.
And you get a lot of wallabies and roos and stuff. Do you get wombats there as well?
Not many wombats. We get a lot of wallabies, roos. We get the occasional feral pigs and stuff like that.
Yep, okay.
There's deers and that up in the mountains. There's plenty of wildlife running around.
Yeah. What sort of deer do you have up there? You have a couple of varieties?
Big fun.
Do you have a couple of varieties of deer? Are you aware of, or you just know there's deer up there?
Never actually seen them on this property, but there's a couple of neighbours and that. They say they got a deer out in the hill, up further up in the mountains and that, and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get your normal wildlife, got goannas.
Yeah, that's it. There's plenty of them out there too.
Yeah.
Do you
down the bottom?
Do you get any weird noises around at night or during the day at all?
Yeah, well, funny you say that, because where we live out in Mount George here, there's a lot of stories about the bloody yowie and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a couple of
So have you heard weird noises yourself?
Yeah, I've heard actually. I've talked to a couple of neighbours. There's actually a thing that screams.
Okay.
It's like a scream echoes through the gullies, through the mountains and that, and like I've heard quolls and koalas and foxes and all that, but there's definitely nothing like that. And a couple of neighbours said, "Oh, it could be the big cat," and things. I don't know if they're joking around or.
Yeah, no, there's big cats out there. Never underestimate what's out there.
Yeah, and I've never, I don't know what a sort of noise a tiger makes, so I couldn't say could be that or that or. But...
There's one old noise that was described a few times about it sounding like a woman crying over a dead baby.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
That's been. I mean, there are other animals out there that make strange noises, like bush stone curlews, those birds.
Yeah.
Those curlews, they make a weird noise.
No, this noise actually echoes through the gully. Like, you can actually hear it. Like, I've actually called the missus out a few times, and she's like, "Oh shit!" Like, they actually. You'd think there's like there's a lady out in the mountains screaming.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. And what about unusual kills? Have you had any wallabies mutilated out there with their heads missing or anything like that?
No, nothing really of that sort. No, not too much like that. Yeah.
We seem to find a lot of wallabies or even large adult kangaroos with their heads torn off and their lungs missing. That's pretty common.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't. It's pretty thick, like the bush where I live. When I was down the creek actually this afternoon, and it's sort of once you get from my property to the creek line, you're pretty much on your hands and knees, sort of trying to get through it. It's that thick.
It's that thick. Yeah, anything could be in there. You could hide an elephant in there.
Yeah, it's like a rainforest, and I've actually I've been down there, plenty of times, and just as late, when you get that feeling someone's like you're getting watched or you're sort of on toe sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that the last couple of times I've been down there, I'm sort of thinking...
And it was this time of year when you saw it, yeah?
Yeah.
Heading into winter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how many years ago was that, sorry?
3 or 4 years ago, I'd say.
Okay.
Would have been, yeah.
And wasn't there a second thing that happened as well?
Yeah, a couple of months back, just down near the creek. Yeah, I was actually going down, because we go down there, take the water and that. We use a bit of water down from the creek. We've got a beautiful freshwater stream that runs down the bottom.
So you got permanent water there?
Yeah, you can pretty much drink out of it if you're thirsty.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah, you got yabbies and eels and stuff in it. But yeah, about 3 months ago, I was actually down there and I was going down, checking the water and having a look around, and I've been down and I had that feeling, thinking, shit, feel like someone's watching me all there. Just a weird feeling. And I remember looking up at the creek's overgrown, like the canopy grows over the top of the creek, so it's pretty dark. Even lunchtime, it's down there. It's pretty dark, and I looked up and I've just seen something. To me, I sort of thought maybe same thing, a dingo or a fox or something. And then I looked up and I was just looking at it for a minute, and it sort of, I don't know if it seen me or something, but it just sort of turned a little bit and then just backward pulled off into the scrub, and it was like, only like not even 10-second sort of view, and I was thinking, shit, maybe that was that same,
same critter,
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do get dingoes around here, but it's only once a year.
Okay, they come through at a certain time of year, do they?
Yeah.
Probably, they make a bit of noise?
Yeah, you can hear them howling every now and again, but it only lasts for, like for a week, and then they're out of here. Yeah.
Okay. See, if there's other large predators in the area, and it's highly likely there is, because there are big cats in Australia and there are other strange things getting around. Yeah. They all keep each other on the move.
Yeah.
Well, and they follow each other around. See, now thylacine only takes a little bit of the kill, so it leaves, 70-80% of the kill there. So anything else, that doesn't mind scavenging a bit would be well fed following a thylacine around, as long as it didn't get eaten by the thylacine itself,
Oh, yeah. Well, I know there's foxes that are around, but I haven't really seen many foxes out here, which is pretty strange. Like, living out in where we live, I thought, we'd see a lot of foxes, but...
You haven't actually seen many at all. Yeah, well, other predators will take out any competition. We had a fox that was torn into about 4 pieces. It was just left in a creek. Something killed it and tore it to shreds and left it there.
Oh, shit.
And I've seen foxes that have been eaten by something that was rather bigger than them, you know. And all you find is the hindquarters and the spine, and the rest of it's gone, you know. So there's things out there that kill foxes. Don't worry. Not just people. So so when you saw this thing and it was broad daylight, so what time in the day was it roughly? The first sighting.
It was in the afternoon. I'd say I was getting
close to dark, sort of thing.
Yeah, it would have been around 5ish, probably.
Yep, just getting ready to get the fire going and stuff.
Yeah, because I remember sitting here thinking, it's getting bloody cold. I'll get the outside fire going and sit around and have a couple of beers or something. And
yep.
Yeah, it was just a shock because I looked down and I was thinking I didn't really want to go down and get the bloody kindling to get the fire going. I was thinking, being a bit lazy, I thought, but just looked down and I've seen this and I was like, I've got to get, I've got to get a picture of that. I'll go, just the...
You know, do you know what time of the year the eels are there?
No.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've got 2 stories from people swearing black and blue that thylacines eat eels.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them lately, so they might be summer, I'd say, just by...
Well, yeah, it might be the warmer months, but yeah, I've had a couple of accounts where they hunt eels, so because eels will go across land sometimes too. Yeah. So that may be an attraction for them there, just that they're hunting the eels in the creek. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, it could be. I know we've got yabbies and that in the creek. I've got plenty of yabbies.
You got any trail cameras at all?
I just after I actually seen it, I went and bought myself a trail camera.
Okay. Well, have you had much success with it, with all the false triggers and stuff that make it go off, or how you going with it?
I've got everything but I've got bloody little foxes, wallabies, kangaroos, 2 little dingo pups.
Excellent.
Lyrebirds, like pretty much everything, but just
everything but the thylacine.
Yeah, everything that I was trying to get.
Well, it sounds like it's definitely happy to come through there at certain times, but it possibly comes more often than you realise too, just because of nature, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty quiet here. Like, I've got 3 dogs at the moment, but at the time I only had the 2 dogs, and one stayed inside, and the other one pretty much was getting older. He didn't get out, but at the moment I've got a younger dog.
Yep.
I've got a dingo cross cattle dog.
Okay.
So he's pretty much...
He'd be a pretty ballsy dog, wouldn't he? He'd be pretty tough.
Yeah. No, he's a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
Hard to train for the first 2 years, a pain in the ass, but...
He's gotten there.
Yeah, he's come across... Yeah, he's a good dog now, and when I look at him, the actual... When I spotted that, it actually looked a little bit taller than him.
Yep.
But
so he's a fairly decent-sized, medium-sized dog?
Yeah, I'd say, I'm probably around 6 foot, and I was definitely, would have been up about my knee size, maybe a bit like that, but good medium-sized dog, I'd say.
Yeah, okay, that's a decent size.
Yeah, but when it went into the bush, it sort of, like it ducked down. When I first spotted it, I thought, shit, I thought dingo, but then it sort of ducked down, and...
It knew you'd seen it.
Yeah, it sort of put its head down and sort of, just blended into the grass, and I was like, it was, a bit of a shock, but...
Ah, that's awesome. I reckon you'll probably get lucky there with that camera at some stage. You got it near the creek somewhere?
Yeah, it's pointing, got a little walking track that goes to the creek.
Yeah.
The only place you can actually get to the creek from, otherwise it's just that thick with, the scrub and that, but...
Yep.
I put one down with the walking track, thinking it might be the easiest way for it to walk through, but I'm actually thinking of getting a couple more and putting them up.
Yeah.
Up the creek.
Yeah, you sounds like you got plenty of wildlife there, so you'll get something.
Yeah.
Might get a big cat. Who knows?
Well, I was surprised. Like when I was speaking to we've got a couple of neighbours that live out further than us, but they're out there in like sort of shacks with solar panels, like living out in the scrub sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a couple of them, and they're like, yeah, that scream, we hear that all the time. Yeah, that's the big cat. And I was like, okay then.
Well, if you hear it again, get your voice recorder out on your phone. You'll pick it up if it's loud enough.
Yeah, well, it's that loud. When you're standing on the veranda, you can actually hear it. It'll echo through the mountains.
Yeah, right, because you're in a bit of a valley there. Just out of curiosity, how many horses you got?
Just the two.
Just the two. Keep an eye on them. They're really good sensors to let you know there's something around that they're not happy with.
Yeah, well, they actually every now and again they get spooked and going batshit, and
and they'll come up as close to the house or something as they can get, or whatever. They'll hole up. Sort of thing.
Well, every afternoon or every night they come right up. We've got like a little like a barn sort of thing sitting there. We put the hay in sometimes.
Yep, they come up for a feed.
They'll stand right next to that and don't move.
Yep.
Yeah, and I found it a bit strange.
And on average, most dogs are very timid around thylacines as well. They shit themselves a lot of the time.
Yeah.
As well. So, if there's something around, the dogs and the horses will be a good thing to look at. You'll know.
Yeah, well, I've got the two. Most of the time, I've got the bull Arab mastiff sort of thing. She spends most of the time inside. Like, she comes out during the day and that, but she's sort of a bit of a pussy sort of thing. She goes inside, but the cattle dingo, I'll let him out at night.
Yep.
And I come out a couple of times, and he's just got his hair up on his back, just staring down the paddock, not making a noise. And I'm like,
yeah, okay.
What's going on? And he just won't bark, won't move. And I'm like, all right, come over here.
Well, that's interesting.
So I'm not sure if it's. I don't think he'd be too worried about dingoes and that. He'd be more on the aggressive sort of.
He'd have a go. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have a bark and have a go, but sometimes he just stands, just stare, and I'm like, come. He won't come. I'm sort of grab him, pull him back to the veranda. And
I hear him yipping. Thylacines yip as well. They make this weird yipping noise. It sounds like a little terrier when it does it. It's a really quite high pitch. But first time I heard it at my house, I was out the front, just standing in the driveway at night with my dog, and she just sat there dead silent and listened intently. She didn't make one murmur, no growls, nothing. She was so quiet and just listened to it yipping in the distance. So they make a few different noises. They make like a dry, raspy coffee bark thing as well. That's a bit like a brush-tailed possum on steroids is the best way to describe it.
Oh, I know what you say, like a koala sort of.
Well, sort of, without that gargly. Koalas have got that gargly kind of thing going on, but this is more of a sort of a dry, raspy sort of thing. It's real distinct. It's different. It's sort of like a possum, but a possum with giant testicles kind of thing. A possum you wouldn't mess with.
Well, I probably heard because I wouldn't have a clue. Sort of noise, and I hear a couple of weird noises, and I sort of put it off to koalas or.
You would, because koalas do make some pretty fantastic noises when they want to have a go. You know, the bull males especially.
Yeah, and I've heard that koalas make some bloody weird noises too, and thought,
Yeah. That's when I first heard koalas, I thought it was wild pigs. First time I heard it, and then I worked out what was going on, and I thought, well, how'd that pig get up that tree, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, mate. Well, look, when I put this out, you okay with me to put your photos out in there as well for a bit of a visual thing for people, or?
Yeah, sure.
You sure? All right, mate. No worries. That's cool. I'm not jumping up and down with huge excitement because you can't definitively work out what it is. But looking at it, you can see what it is, and when you describe what was going on, it's obvious, you know, to me. But
as I said, I've seen foxes, dingoes.
Absolutely.
And went out shooting, and and that was completely different. When I spotted it, I was like, shit, I've got to get paid. I just wish I had a bloody decent phone or a camera.
Look, a Canon telescopic lens or something would have been fantastic, but never mind. You got something. That's a huge credit to you, honestly. It's so hard to get.
Yeah.
It's always so spur of the moment, and it's if you're lucky, you get 3 or 4 seconds. You probably had about 10 seconds or something, yeah? How long were you looking at it for, you reckon?
Yeah. Oh, probably that, or maybe a little bit more, because the first shot, when I showed her that picture of the RCN with it, I think it might have heard me because the tail was like going out straight out the back, but then its tail sort of stuck up.
Yeah, it went straight up in the air. Yeah,
went straight up, and I was like,
that was the radar.
The was, twice the size of a normal, like for a dog or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, like
that's a weird looking thing.
Shit, I gotta get a picture of this.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Awesome. All right. Well, look, if you get any other weird things happen, by all means, get in touch and let me know, eh?
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Great work.
Sounds, things like that.
Yeah, when I get the video up, I'll send you the link. But yeah, if you hear any weird noises, try and get a recording or find any weird big footprints. The footprints look similar to dog, but they've got 5 toes on the front feet that make that nearly always, if it's soft enough, you'll get the 5th digit as well.
Okay.
They've got really, really big feet. The adult males, the feet are about 4.5 inches wide at the front. They're really big.
Oh, shit.
So if you find an adult male, you'll see the foot and you'll realise how big they get. My friend had a Great Dane and they were just twice as big as a Great Dane. So, yeah,
really?
They're big.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't go down and get bloody firewood that day. I did go down the next day just to have a look around and couldn't see any prints. Or
it's pretty hard in grass and stuff. If there's a bit of sand or mud near a creek, you might get lucky.
Yeah.
On the edge of the creek or something.
Pretty rocky, sort of.
Yeah.
Haven't really got unless it's been raining for a couple of days. It's all pretty hard ground. So.
No worries. All right, mate. Great work.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yep, no worries. Good talk to you.
Good on you, mate. Cheers.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Ta-da.
All right, ta-da.